What's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here. Hey, what is happening? It's episode 3 of How to Garage Sale for Profit. It's good to see whoever's in the room right now. I originally scheduled this show to be an hour before, and then I realized I had to take my dog to the vet. Then I went to the vet thinking it was going to be a really long visit, and it turns out it was only like 4 minutes long. So now I'm back, and I adjusted the time again. But anyway. Good to see everyone. There's some people in the comment feed right now, or maybe they put in comments earlier, so at least I want to shout them out. And this is a perfect time to do a sound check. So guys, really help me out. Make sure it sounds good, because wouldn't it suck to go through an entire hour and you couldn't hear anything? That would really suck. And then it would even suck more if I thought that you guys were hearing everything. So help me out. I would greatly appreciate it. So we have in the feed Sam Kirker. What's up, Bonafide? Ready for episode 3 and the new guide. That's right. There is a new guide coming out August 8th. Garage Sale Killer is coming out. That's right. It's a green room production. It's going to be amazing. We have Darren Eckelman. We have Henry S. Nikki Garner. Una Luna Vintage. Sounds good. Okay. So, hey. I don't know if you guys can do this for me, but if you could share this video, that'd be really sweet. I mean, I know I asked for the thumbs up and stuff, and but you know, it's really hard to share a YouTube video. So you know, if you're in a Facebook group or whatever, or maybe your own Facebook, you know, share it out if you can. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask, but if you could, I would greatly appreciate it. We want to get more people onto the show so we can get some really good Q&A going at the end. But traditionally, like the way it goes, this is episode 3, so there are 2 more episodes prior that you can find on my channel. But the structure of the show is I give you 3 really good tips on garage sales, and then we do a Q&A, right? And we're only talking about garage sales. The reason why I like doing this show is because, and I time it right before the weekend, is because I want you guys to get pumped up, and I want you guys to leave with an extra nugget or 2 of information to make you guys more money when you head out into the field, which is typically Friday or Saturday. But for the most, you know, for most of the people out there, it's Saturday morning. And garage sales are a lot of fun. The reason why I love to hustle garage sales is because you can make a whole lot of money in a very short amount of time. And plus it's fun. It's neat. It's cool. It's like a national pastime. I mean, garage sales have been going on since 40 BC, right? I did my homework. Yeah, people were trading stones back in the day for sticks. No, I really don't know. But, you know, it seems like even when I was a young child, my parents were going to garage sales, and I think they were going to garage sales like everyone else. They weren't going to hustle. They were going to, you know, find things for home and stuff and kids' shoes, so that way they wouldn't buy it for exorbitant prices. And I get it. You know, it's a smart way to live. It really is. So that's like the flip side of garage sales. Like, what I do is I go to garage sales with the primary notion of reselling the items that I find. So I don't buy everything, right? But I buy what I think, what I know is going to make me more money. And then if I just come across stuff that I would wear in normal life or use in normal life, then I would buy it for myself and not have to buy that crap full price at stores. So, you know, if you're thinking like, I don't care about reselling, like garage sales are stupid, like, I disagree, because you can save a lot of money in your life by going to garage sales, and plus you'll realize that there's a amazing arbitrage opportunity at garage sales. And it just seems like when I say it's an arbitrage opportunity, I don't know if it's ever going to die, because people are always getting rid of their stuff for cheap. So anyway, think twice, go to garage sales, lots of fun, and hopefully I can guide you along the way. So we have Mike Riles watching Bonafide Hustler here. That's right. Joel Dotson pre-ordered the garage sale guide last night. Joel, you're in the green room. You do get it for free. So get with me and I'll get with CP and we'll get you your money back. But yeah, so Joel Dotson is one of the newer members in the green room. You know, we'll get you your money back. Don't worry about it. So it's one of the perks about being in the green room, which is the group that I control, that, you know, it's all reselling based, right? Is that there's a lot of perks when you're in it. There's guides in there for free and all this kind of stuff. So we want to make sure that we give our members, you know, really good stuff. Okay, so we have Darren Eckelman. Miguel, what's up? Can we get a ah? I need to dope you how to do an ah, man. What's up, Mario? Good to see you, Mario. Thanks for joining the room. Thriftology. Oh, there you are. Thriftology is on almost every one of my daytime shows. This guy is like a really religious commenter. I mean, he's a commenter. I don't know if he's religious, but you know what I'm saying. He comments a lot on my videos. Okay, let's start with the show, right? Yeah, Joel Dodson, make sure that you get with me behind the scenes. We'll get you your money back on that one guide. What's up, Rick and Profit? He's in the house too. And he is also one of the admins of the Green Room. If you guys have any Green Room questions while I'm doing the garage sale show, hopefully Rick can answer some of those for you. But there are probably some members in the room too that are in the Green Room. And if you're wondering, like, what's it like to be in the Green Room? What's it like to be around a bunch of people that are like energetic about hustling and not only garage sales, but pawn shops, thrift stores, big box stores, wholesale level now. This is the place to be. It really is. So I hope you guys can, get with Rick, and he's in the feed. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them, because this show I want to focus on garage sales, but I do have a Q&A at the end, right about the halfway mark. So let's talk about the very first tip I want to give you guys, okay? So remember this. Hold on. Let me actually get, because the tip is really good. And I have to show you. I should have had this, this shows how well prepared I am right here, right? The fact that I'm like getting organized like on the spot. Okay, so, follow your purchases. And what I mean by that is a lot of people that I've ever met out there, they don't seem to be tracking what they're buying. And that's not a good thing when it comes to the end of the year or IRS purposes. And it can be kind of a scary thing. Like, how the hell do you prove like what you got at a garage sale? So got with my tax professional, who is trained to be a CPA, but basically I met her from Jackson Hewitt. I've been with her for about 8 to 10 years now. And, she knows my business. She's seen it evolve from, when it's in its infancy. And now that it's getting really serious, well, it's always been serious, but now that it's getting pretty serious, I naturally come to her with some of the questions with like, I buy a lot of stuff from garage sales and I sell it on eBay. I sell this stuff on Craigslist, or no, the stuff that I sell on Craigslist, I ain't gonna lie, like I actually don't keep track of that stuff. But the stuff that I put on eBay and FBA, it's like, you got to track that stuff, right? Because at the end of the year, you're going to get an income statement from eBay and FBA. I mean, assuming you do a fair amount of business on both platforms, they send you out, a tax form. So one of the things you're going to have to do is twofold, okay? You're going to have to start tracking your purchases. Usually a Google Doc is really good for doing this, but that still doesn't, submitting a Google Doc is not, the end all be all when it comes to the IRS. So she's like, look, you need some sort of a ledger, all right? Or something handwritten. You need something that's following, just like a mileage log, right? Before there was MileIQ and some of these other things, people were doing mileage logs like on paper. So kind of the same way. She's like, you have to think about it that exact same way. When you're at garage sales, I want you to do, and ever since last year, around June, I've been doing a money receipt book, okay? Now, this whole thing is filled out, okay? I mean, just from every garage sale I've ever been to. And when did I start this thing? Let's see here. 5/9/2015, okay? So half of last year, it's in here. Let's see. 5/9/2015, I was at 13316 Wisterwood at 8 a.m. I spent $4 there. For $3, I bought pool balls, which is, pool cue balls. And then I bought a Zero King coat for $1. That Zero King coat actually sold for $55 in my antique booth. So, yeah, it's one of those, like, if they're ever like, okay, well, let's see some sort of a purchase history about the Zero King coat, then at least I have it here. Let's see what it does. Let's go fast forward a little bit. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. 5/9, same day. Probably right down the street. Nintendo, original NES, $5. 13315 Effingham Street, $5. An NES with games. Pretty cool, right? See, then when I was doing it on 5/9, I didn't get all nitty gritty. Like, you probably want to put Nintendo and any game that comes with it. Very important. So let's fast forward. Let's see how intricate I start getting here. 7/17/2015. I spent $17 at this garage sale. I bought a Royal typewriter, which is not exactly super common, so I didn't have to get all, whatever on that. $10. A Royal typewriter in my booth is going to sell for minimum like $50 or above. So I got three shirts, 3 Pro Snap shirts, $3. I should get a little bit more technical on those, but I didn't. Shimano mountain biking shoes, $2, and 2 orange antique tins for $2, which I did sell those for $10 a piece in my antique booth. So you kind of see what's going on is that I am actually, with this receipt book, I mean, taking down everything that I buy, everything, right? So it's really, really cool. Here's one. 4307 Balcones Woods Drive, 4/23/2016, $10 Tony Lama elephant boots. I think those sold for like 140 maybe or so. I was going to say 130, but maybe 140. So, all right. So you kind of see what I'm doing here. The question is, do you give the receipt back to the person at the garage sale? No, you don't. It's just a log, okay? It's a log, and if I get in trouble with the IRS, which usually when the IRS comes for you or they come to you, right? Because they've come after me once. It's because you did something wrong. Not because you're not doing this thing. It's because you forgot to put some sort of tax form or one of your streams of income, you forgot to claim it, okay? So when they came after me, it was in 2013, maybe it was 2012, but I completely forgot to put the eBay W-2, is it? Whatever. Yeah, I completely forgot to put it in there, completely. So my tax professional, you know, just did the taxes like normal. You know, she didn't really think proactively to ask me about it, but I didn't even freaking put it in there. So of course they come after me and they're like, all right, well, you owe $6,800. If you can show cost of goods, then it's a different story. And that was pre having this thing. So I did show some cost of goods, which was mostly thrift store receipts. I got that thing knocked down to $2,200. So with very little receipts showing. So, you know, still, if you're in the wrong, you can battle it out and you can pay way less than what you're supposed to pay. But usually if they're going to come against you, it's because of something on your side that you forgot to do. Yeah, so the receipt book kind of looks like this. I get a lot of questions about, you know, which one should I get? This one right here has 200 carbonless sets. So there's 200 of each one of those. What I like better, guys, is not this one, actually. It's the slimmer version of that, and it looks like this. Same exact kind of company, right? It's the pink blue one that you get at Office Max, Office Depot. I like this one better because it fits on a much smaller surface. I don't, you know, there's a whole lot of space on these other ones. I'm not even filling it up. This one is just way more concise and cool, and it fits right on my center console, like right on top of it. So this one was too wide for the center console, the other one, but this one's half the size of it. So you can see that if you're going to buy one of these, maybe you can go to Amazon, type in this number, SC1152, all right, money, rent, receipt book. It's well worth every penny. So that's one of the things in life. If you have something you want to achieve, and I wanted to achieve safety, right? I wanted to achieve being safe with the IRS, all that kind of stuff. All you got to do is do a habit, right? It takes an average human being 58 days to 63 days to form a habit that cannot be broken. So I had to do this, you know, for seems like maybe 50 weekends straight, right? And then now it's second nature. Now it's like, okay, I gotta bring my camera, my batteries, you know, the rent receipt book, got to make sure that all the stuff's in my car for bins, and make sure I have the straps for my roof in case I get a canoe or a kayak or something crazy. These are all the things that are just part of my habit now. So is it more work? Yes, but if you get audited by the IRS, you are in a world of hurt if you're going to try to prove anything. So it's better to be proactive, okay? Do I have people sign at the sale, Thriftology? No, I don't. I don't even provide any of the other stuff to them. It's just for my purposes, right? So yeah. Hit the like button, guys. I really appreciate that. We got some people here that are just really loyal, bona fide hustler followers and people that want to learn. So I'm telling you right now, if you mess with the garage sales, please get one of these right now. I think it's made by Adams. So someone out there that's on the computer, which clearly everybody is, someone go to Amazon real quick, or maybe Amazon Prime, type in Adams money rent receipt book SC1152, okay? And please put the link into the feed here so we can all buy it. Because I think this costs like $10.99 at Office Depot. It's probably cheaper on Amazon Prime. So SC1152, that's the good one, okay? You can get the bigger one, but I just don't think you're going to be filling it out. It's a lot of wasted paper in this one. This one's way more concise and cool. It's lighter. I like everything about this one. All right, so let's look at this one now. Some treats here for you guys. I recently started this one on 6/25/2016. So what did I buy that day? Let's find something good here that actually sold for really good money. Here we go. On 6/25 at 8009 Bullard Drive, I spent $9. A military rucksack for $5. That sold for $91.35 on eBay. Just that backpack. Size 11 Lucchese boots, $2. I got an offer for those for $75 the other day, but I didn't take it. Corcoran boots, size 11, $2. I got an offer for these. I got an offer at $57 for these the other day. I didn't take it, so I'm holding out a little bit on those two. But you can kind of see, like, you know, I know where my purchases are going. Now, what you got to do after you get this book is you start filling it out. Now, then you get to a Google document, okay? Go get to Google Docs. All right, it's very easy. It's like Excel If you know anything about Microsoft Excel, even if you don't know anything about Microsoft Excel, you can create a spreadsheet. It's very easy to do. I suggest making a spreadsheet of all the things that you hustle, things for FBA, thrift stores, pawn stores. I have a master sheet that I work with. I can't share it with everyone because it's not like it's a master. It's my actual sheet. It's just my big sheet. And I have 10 to 15 tabs on the bottom. One of the tabs, I can tell you what the tab is right now. I mean, I'll just look at it, but I can't share it, but I will look at it while I'm on the thing with you guys, because I look at this sheet every day. All right, screen. So let me see if I can figure out where it is. Okay, so the very first tab I have is my mileage log. It's followed by, I can't really say, but it is a secret place where I find goods. So I can't say what that is, but then it's followed by picks, which is like when I go antique hustling in someone's backyard, rusty gold, like American Picker style. So it's there's picks in there too. Then it's followed by Goodwill, Salvation Army, FBA. These are all the tabs at my bottom. And at the top of the tabs, I have what the item is, the location I bought it at, what I paid for it, what I sold it for, the quantity that it purchased, the cost of each one. What else do I have here? Quantity, yeah, and then shipping if that matters, but for FBA it doesn't. Then I have garage sales is one of my other tabs. I have antique booth is my other tab. I have other, when wherever I hustle doesn't really classify in any of these other things. I have savers, local thrifts, pawn shops. Then I go into my tax stuff like deductions, FBA shipping plus bike shipping, 2016 FBA tax, 2016 income. So anyway, that's definitely not part of it, but it's there. So you kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. Yeah. So I hope that helps you guys out. That's tip number one, is get a receipt book and then start a Google Doc. Okay. So get a Google Doc, open tabs, customize it any way you want. It's pretty easy to do. Learn how to freeze a row. Very important to learn how to freeze your top row. So learn that. Learn how to do basic equations in Google Docs or Excel. It's the same kind of thing. And that's it. Everything else is just column sorting and what is it called? When you want to make a certain column like a currency or denomination or what, formatting a column. So you got to learn how to do basics, but it's way worth it. Okay. So anyway, Henry S. believed to achieve. That's right. Realist dude in the room. How you doing? What's up? What? Yeah, there should be an app for all this stuff, but unfortunately there's not. But maybe we'll have one day. Okay, so let's talk about, are you guys liking the show? First of all, are you guys liking the show? If you have any green room questions as well, please do ask him. I think Raykin might still be in the hood at the house. But yeah, I mean, the green room is becoming a very big deal. I think we've almost doubled in like less than a year. So it's an amazing place. And while I have all you guys here, very important, this is a green room creation that we created a year ago. And we were charging decent money for it. But now it's free, right? It's free. And all you got to do is go down to the link below. You'll get it on your phone. I want you to study this before you go to garage sales, because believe me, you'll make money on this guide. Absolutely will make money from this guide. So anyway, make sure you get it. All right, sitting down below. Now, this is the best thing to do is when you're at a DMV, you're getting your car washed, or maybe you're just sitting on the toilet, read the damn guide. Like, that is really good education, okay? All right. Is there a hard copy of 100 Amazing Items? No, I thought about making it, but then again, everything's cell phone these days, to make an actual book. I mean, it's kind of a dying breed, So I know we're all being serious, but your hair is just dreamy. It's not really that dreamy. That's the book that got me started. That's Mario, and Mario recently joined the Green Room. Thank you very much. He actually went to our Green Room meetup as well, which was like 3 weeks ago. Drew Lyons, I'm just glad you guys have stuck around this long. Does the feedback from fellow resellers keep you going? Yeah, absolutely. What keeps me going is, honestly, what keeps me going now is the Green Room, because I've created something that I didn't have when I was in the beginning stages or intermediate stages of hustling. There was none of this stuff. So we created, that. We created a Green Room University, and we created a Green Room Amazing Facebook page. And that's, they always say that you can get pretty well rewarded in life if you fix a problem, right? And so, when Dyson, for example, the vacuum cleaning company, when they made their big products, and they're, the person was thinking like, what should I make, and he was like, everyone's getting tired of these vacuum cleaners with bags on them, right? And then on top of that, You know, they don't like vacuum cleaners that don't suck very well. So he's like, how can I do a bagless vacuum cleaner that sucks like amazing, right? So that's what he built. And Dyson vacuum cleaners are amazing. We actually own one, and they're amazing. They're totally amazing. I don't even know what a bagged vacuum cleaner even is like anymore, right? But I remember back in the day, those things were like full of dust, and it wasn't good for you know, your lungs or anything. But you know, you have to fix a problem, and if it's good enough, then the people will come. And that's what we're doing with the green room. We're fixing a problem, the problem that we didn't have this resource when we were getting to the stages of wanting to make money. You know, put an extra, you know, car payment in there, put an extra house payment, pay off your house, you know, afford a sushi dinner or a steak dinner. We're showing people ways to do those kind of things on a mass scale and get around a big family of people that really like to do it. So it's very important. No matter what you use the money for, the fact is there's a way to make more money. And if you get around like-minded people, and I stress that a lot, like-minded people is exactly what you need if you want to grow. So let's get to tip number 2. And I like doing this at garage sales. So when I see I'll give an example of a garage sale probably 2 months ago. I was at a garage sale, and I was at a, you know, there was a box, and I looked in the box, and there was a bunch of DVDs. And my brother, it has that DVD restriction on his account, but I don't. And so I was like, well, I'll take a look at these DVDs. And I noticed that they're not like Titanic, Forrest Gumpish DVDs, Green Mile, you know, not like the everyday DVDs. These are indie DVDs. So like they're indie DVDs, documentaries. They are concerts, right, from artists that I was like, I know that artist, but it wasn't crappy artists. It was artists that people pay up and follow, you know, big money for. And so I started sifting through it and scanning, of course, on Amazon, because everything was new. Okay, it was all sealed. So what was going on through my head was like, man, this must be a reseller. Wonder if I'm going to find some FBA tags on the back of these things, right? Because we've all been there. If you go to garage sales, and sometimes you find FBA tags, or even in thrift stores, you'll find FBA tags. And usually, when you see an FBA tag, it's kind of like, well, this was someone's failed FBA kind of thing, you know. But there were no FBA tags on it. They were still new in plastic. I scanned a couple, and they're coming up pretty good. Great ranks, and north of $15 each DVD. Okay, so, and then I scanned one that was coming in at like 40 something, which I think I sold that one the other day, actually. I think it was a Digimon or something like that. Digimon 3 or season 3 sold for like $39.99 or something. Anyway, so I looked at that and I was like, all right, how much does this lady want for this entire thing? At that point, you know, when you find one, I was starting to think like, how much for everything? And so what I should have done, and I didn't do this, but I still just kept scanning. I left about half of them behind. But when it came down to, you know, I want these 18 DVDs or something like that, I was like, how much for these 18 DVDs? She's like, $25. And I just should have bought the entire box. I should have just been like, how much for the entire box? Because if she was to say like 30 or 40, quite honestly, the ones I left behind were still ones that could have sold on Amazon for like $8, $10, yielding me about $5.50 each one, right? So that was my mistake, is I didn't do that. But so this is the lesson learned. But I usually do this most of the time for some reason on that one. But that's just an example of when you find something in the deal that's worth more than the deal itself. Like, just stop and just take the entire freaking thing. Okay, sort the rest of that crap out at home. You know, when I was doing these DVDs and like scanning them, so there were some people looking over my shoulders and stuff. But at that point, I kind of bona fide inflated, right? That's when your shoulders get real wide and your back gets kind of big, and you get, you know, you start getting that, like I'm about to Tasmanian devil this entire garage sale. But yeah, you know, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's, I don't know. Most people don't mess with me, right? I'm a little bit bigger of a dude, but that's a lesson learned here. Is like, once you see one thing in the pile that's worth what you suspect the entire pile, they're going to sell it to you for, just buy the whole pile. Who cares what everything else is? If you get one that's going to pay for the whole thing, that's all that matters, because there's likely more stuff in there that's going to be amazing too. It's the same thing with video games. Video games are the exact same thing. I had a video game haul 1.5 weeks ago, and one of the games was like north of $50. So I go there, I buy all the games from the dude, and the guy's like, well, how much do you want for everything? And I was like, 40 cash sound good? And it was 20 something like cartridges that are NES and N64 like mixed, right? But one of them was Majora's Mask, and so that was pretty amazing. And one was Ocarina of Time 64. I mean, these are just amazing game. So, you know, when I saw one that could pay for the whole thing, buy the whole thing. That's it. You know, there's no more conversation that needs to be, because the more conversation that goes around, guys, then the more they're like, well, what do you do with this stuff? You know, I heard this one was worth some pretty decent money. You don't want any of that to happen. You really want to get in and out as fast as possible. So anyway, how much time do I, here's Kimberly Sims. How much time a day do I spend on paperwork? I try to do a little bit of paperwork every day, like something small, you know, like right now, the paperwork that I'm doing is I'm going back in these logs and logging it into my Google Sheet. Like, so right now I'm probably caught up. I'm trying to go catch up to this year. So right now I'm past July already. So I'm back into the June month, and I'm logging everything from June into my Google Sheet. And then I'm going to do everything from May into my Google Sheet. And that way, if IRS comes after me, then at least now the Google Sheet plus this is all like ready to go. So, but I know I've been cleared for 2015, so that's good. So Silver Hair Stacker says, yeah, box lots at auction, one good item and sort the others at home. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys to do, okay? Try to get a deal for everything once one of the items is showing the amazing profit. All right, so let me think here anymore. We have a lot of really interesting people I've never seen before. The Hulk, that's right, I'm a Hulk. Okay. Okay, so let's talk. I just want to make sure there were no more comments and everything. Tip number 3, and then we'll get into the open Q&A. This one's interesting. I don't think a lot of people will really like this one, but so here's one thing. When you're wrong, okay, when you're wrong, and even Bonafide Hustler goes wrong. I go wrong about once every 2 weeks. When you're wrong, then fix immediately the entire situation, okay? So when you're wrong, fix immediately. When you're wrong, fix immediately. I'll tell you my last, like real good, like when I was wrong. So in one of my videos, I bought a bunch of bouncy balls, and then I bought the gumball machine that went with it, right? I don't know if you can remember the video, but it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I bought this huge gumball machine that had a bunch of bouncy balls inside. I kept the bouncy balls, but the machine, like, just had no resale. It had nothing, and I thought I was going to be doing okay and everything, and tried to locally sell it, but didn't work. So what did I do? When you're wrong, fix immediately. So, you know, within a month, and this is what I say immediately, is don't let it take any more space in my garage. Like, you know, I dumped it in the dumpster. I straight up threw it in the dumpster. I don't care, you know, but that's the principle. Is you really, you know, if you're wrong, then fix immediately. When I get wrong at a garage sale, once every 2 weeks or so, I'll be wrong about something. Then I just take it and I put it into a bag, and it's going to be a donation, the kind of type of bag or something like that. But when you're wrong, fix immediately. Get that crap out of your way. Don't be haunted with it or see it all the time. That's just part of what we do. Is you're going to make some bad calls. You're going to be picking up a bad product, or something's not going to test out. That's probably one of the more prominent ones. Is you get a great deal on something, and you know that time is of the essence at garage sales, so you don't test it out, right? It's an electronic, for example, and then you get home and you realize, oh, damn, something doesn't work here. You know, when you're wrong, fix immediately. But conversely is, or I guess to go along with that, is buy extremely low. If you can't test it and you're kind of unsure and everything, you can play those cards to the person like, hey man, you know, I don't know if it's going to do everything I want it to do when I get home, but you know, how about X, right? And usually if it's something very low, then you should be okay with throwing that money away. That's just part of the game, because you're looking for the big dog profits when you're doing garage sales. Just remember that. So you want to keep your losses low and your wins super high. Okay, so that goes for, yeah, I just talked about it. Blind buys, bad hustles. Sometimes with FBA, like the pick is different than your actual product that you're holding in your hand, or it's a variant of what you have, or it's not the right ounces, and you were like, oh damn, I'm holding the 12-ounce one, but I was looking at the 30-ounce one. You know, just things like that. It could be like, oh well, crap, I thought it was the red sword. It's freaking the blue one that has the money, you know, the Mighty Morphin sword, for example. So, yeah, it's about P&L, profit and loss, and make your losses real small, make your profits super big. Okay, Global Gibby. I hate when they ask, what are you going to do with these items? I have sayings, come back, topic avoided, cost the deal. I don't know if I quite understand your question, Global Gibby. Please elaborate on that question. So, but I'll take the first one. The person, Global Gibby, hates it when they ask, what are you going to do with these items? You know, you can do a couple things. I usually, when someone asks me nowadays, like, what am I going to do with something, I'll be like, well, I have a online shop, and I might decide to put it in there, but who knows? It all depends if it tests out. I might just be like, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, sometimes I might lie. It's a very nosy question, right? Like, why the hell do they need to know what you're going to do with the item that now has transferred from their possession to yours? Like, that's kind of a weird question. It's almost like when you sell someone a car, like, well, what are you going to do with the car now? Like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, like, if something doesn't make sense to me and I'm like, that's a very irrelevant question, or it's borderline crass, then I will launch a full-blown bona fide lie. Like, I will. I don't care, because at that point, morally, I don't feel like obligated to give them anything, right? So anyway, pay my kids tuition, get rich. Yeah. Mario, I hate it when they tell me, well, it goes for on eBay. Yeah, just tell me how you want. When you start hearing that talk, like, well, on eBay it's this, and I usually at that point my ears are closed off. I'm just like, forget it. Like, I'll look around for something else in the garage sale that I can hustle, but if they're talking eBay and all this crap, forget it. Like, I'm out. It's just the way I am. Dan Hotchkiss, thanks for the awesome time and instruction. You're very welcome. Completely welcome. Oric vacuum bags you can usually get at Oric stores. They sell well. Okay, cool. I haven't had any yet on FBA or anything like that, or eBay, but I'll keep that in mind. I meant I have sayings to make a comeback statement, like I'm finishing my collection. Oh, okay. So you can say whatever you want. I mean, I would not be afraid to lie to somebody in that situation, because it's quite honestly, it's a question that it's none of their business. So, I got kids to feed is a good line. That's pretty good. Okay. So let's open this up to Q&A now. And the Q&A, if you have anything that you want to talk about, or you have a question that you're dying to like ask, maybe regarding a past hustle or garage sale or something related to garage sales, let's get a Q&A started and see what is up out there, right? And let's see are you guys pumped up for garage sales this weekend? I'm actually going to be hustling with a green room member named Q, right? He's from Austin, Texas. He joined about 6 weeks ago, maybe. And I can't wait. This guy actually has a brick and mortar video game store, and he's like well-versed in video games, among other things. He's very good at other things, but I'm going to be hustling with a green room member this weekend, likely a green room member next weekend. Once I formed the green room, I kind of realized like there are a lot of really amazing people in this town, and these people can benefit also from my instruction. And when I'm there with them, it's like I benefit from their instruction. It's kind of a two-way street. So, but it's a lot of fun. I can't wait. And I've met Q in real life. I've met Amaya in real life. I've met Scott Goodman in real life. I mean, these are all people that are in Austin. Max Fra in real life. I've met all these people, and they're so cool. Brock Parks, Orange Elephant 123. There's just really good people in town. So, and there's plenty for everyone, right? I'm not the kind of guy who complains and complains and complains like, oh my God, all this competition. When you start getting to that level, guys, you start blaming all these other things for the demise that's occurring in your life. It's really not the way it's happening. What's really happening is life is approaching you, and it's like a game of chess, right? And there's always a way out. There's always a way out to avoid a checkmate or something like that. But for the people that don't realize that life is occurring to them, that you don't actually control any, you actually do control everything, right? You control all the moves in life, but life will approach you in really weird ways, and it's testing you each and every time. So anytime the competition gets stiff, or you come back empty-handed on a weekend, or much less than what you thought, that's not really, anything. It's in your control, right? But you should look back and be like, well, how can I overcome that next weekend? You should always be thinking these things, because it's not like if you just go again and do the exact same thing that anything might change. I mean, maybe your competition is getting worse in your town, right? And but that just means you either succumb or you overcome, right? That's just what it is. So yeah, life comes at you in weird ways, guys. But depending on how you translate that determines whether you are a hustler or if you're a person that folds. It really is. So, here's some bona fide Perrier. They started paying me recently. Just kidding. That's good. Dan Hotchkiss. Am I a full-time hustler? my income streams are varied now. You know, like I hustle. I like that income stream. Got the green room income stream. Got income streams from other things, and it's just the way it is. I mean, I diversified my entire life. I like it. And just last night, I was researching another income stream that has to do with fitness, but anyway, and it's private label related. So, you know, that's definitely around the corner as well. Have I tried apps, Let Go or OfferUp? I have, but it's all time, you know, time based. And so I like messing with stuff like that, but time, it's just, there's only so much time in a day. So diversification is key. So Rakin is saying, Silver Hair Stacker, Bonafide, got to drive up to Waco for garage sales. I buy lunch. Bro, Silver Hair, you got to come down to Austin and I will buy lunch, okay? And yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. Man, I can't go to a town with like 0 dopios. Like, I got to go to a town that has good dopios. We got great dopios here, man. So Silver Hair, I want you to come down here. So Pan, Bonafide getting that sponsorship money from Perrier. Yeah, I wish. You know, Perrier is pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it is pretty decent. How do I handle sales tax? I do it for my antique booth. I don't so much mess with it for eBay or Amazon. What else do we have here? How much profit does hustling make? Good amount, Daniel. You should definitely get into this. Bonafide, come to Portland, Oregon. Oh, I want to go there so bad. I really do. I would like to crash at your house too and eat all your food, by the way, if that's okay. No, I really want to go to Portland. It seems like right up my alley. But I have a feeling if I do Portland, it's going to be in conjunction with a Seattle, Portland, and probably Idaho kind of trip. Yeah. Is there a point of sale system that you can use to speed up tax documentation? Look, if you do everything right, Darren, on your Google sheet, then you should be able to get cost of goods and profit very, very well. So anytime I sell something on eBay, in the antique booth, or should I say, well, on eBay, I actually get my P&L sorted out like that moment, right? I know what the shipping is, everything. When it comes to FBA, I wait till about the November, December month, and I start messing with it then, sometimes January month, and I start going back to my FBA things, and I figure out, you know, general P&L of what I've done, and then the same thing goes my antique booth. The antique booth takes about half a day to do, sometimes a full day. But it's not too much of a sacrifice, you know. But I really understand my company, my system very well. So if you got everything mostly on a Google Doc, then a Google Doc's like Excel. All you gotta do is start, you know, subbing columns this way, that way, and then, you know, you figure out how much cost of goods was, shipping, and then profit. It's pretty easy to do. And then you can figure out fees from usually the W-2s that they send out to you. Portland is beautiful. Bikes, coffee, beer. Oh, I totally want to go to Portland. Montana wants you to see it. Great fly fishing, mountain biking, and hustling. Okay, Dan Hotchkiss. I might go there too then. Portland meetup. Yeah, I can tell you that the next meetup right now that we have, it's more of just a true meetup for over coffee. It's going to be, I want to say, late August in San Diego. That's definitely happening. So, or maybe Del Mar. But either way, it's right there in Southern Cali. And first week of September / last week of August, somewhere around there, like I'll be in San Diego. So you guys definitely got to come by. If you're close, then yeah, come meet and greet, and let's do that whole thing. And I'll buy dopios. All right, diversification is key. That's right. So any other questions? We got some Q&A going on. AK Ally picked up a bunch of vintage RC car parts, multiples of the same item. Tamiya mostly. Oh, amazing. Is it best to like make lots up of the same item or mix them to sell on eBay or sell individually? Okay, so I need to know more about these parts, as in, are they used or are they new? And then second of all, are you able to identify which car or buggy or truck that they go to? For instance, are some of these like Blackfoot parts, or some of these grasshopper parts, or frog parts, or are they clodbuster parts? That's really important, because you can do lots of a certain vehicle, or you can get really crazy and start listing every single thing, but then that's very time consuming. So usually lots are a good way to make your money back quickly. But if you're messing with vintage remote control car stuff, then Tamiya is the best brand of all to be hustling, honestly. So what is my experience flipping large used items? Okay. So what's the best platform to flip mid-sized to large items like printers? Printers, if you got them used and they're large printers, like large format printers, absolutely eBay. In fact, I've made, after fees, let me think how much I've made this year. Just this year, after fees on large format printers. How many have I found? I think after fees, just this year in large format printers, I've made about $800. That's not bad, you know. It's a certain type of printer, and just I found them 3 times this year. So that's amazing, right? I forgot what the middle one sold for, but I know the first one sold for $779 or $769.99. It was a $30 printer. The second one was a $8 printer, and it sold for $299.99. And then there's a middle one too. I can't remember like where I got that one from, but I know that one sold too. So yeah, eBay was the lead thing to do with both of those. Now, if you're dealing with very large items, we're talking like a scooter, a motorcycle, you know, huge antique trunks and everything, then yeah, locally is what you want to mess with for that. Yeah, you don't want to start getting crazy with that because then freight charges start getting nuts. Do I have a pick that stands? Do I have a pick that stands out as your best home run? I mean, anyone can like just say that the $30 printer that sells for $769 is a pretty good one. The $1,000 mountain bike that sold for $1,800, that's a good one too. The $65 fighter joystick that sold for $360. The $15, no, the $8 Hoyer gauge from a fighter jet that sold for like $400 maybe. The $5 Voigtlander camera that sold for $350 or so. I have a lot, you know, I have some pretty good ones under my belt. I mean, just this week, a $15 CC Filson bag sold for $161. That's pretty good. Yeah, so you know, just some really good ones in there. I don't try to get, you know, crazy home runs. I mean, I've had some really good. In fact, look, those are all the eBay ones. Like when you deal with FBA, you can get some serious home runs. One of the best ones, 15, God, what was it? This was like not too long. Well, yeah, it was about a year ago, but E-Money and I came across this garage sale where someone was selling, the quantity was 16 because I gave E-Money 4 of them. So 16 of these they were video cards. They were video cards, right? So like they were not GE NetForce or something. I don't know. There was some decent video card, not like cutting edge, but not the worst. So they're in the middle. And these video cards were brand new, sealed and everything. I came across 16 of them at a garage sale. The lady sold them to all to me for like what, 10 or 12 bucks, something like that. I give 4 to E-Money, and each one of mine made me 44 bucks after fees on FBA, each one of them. So I mean, there's that one, you know. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. But FBA has way better deals. In fact, I'm sitting on some really good inventory in FBA right now that I've hustled from July 9th at the meetup. Raken was there, CP was there, but some of these Thule things that maybe you saw in the video, maybe you didn't, those things are sitting in FBA. I've sold a fair amount of that. I already made really good money out of that deal, and I still have some really good stuff just sitting there. So that deal is probably going to yield $1,500, maybe if I'm lucky, $2K. We'll see. Out of a $200 investment, it's not bad. What do we got here? Dan Hotchkiss, dang man, I want to be better. Green room, here I come. Seriously, if you want to up your resale game, I don't see any other way. We really thought hard about how we want this room to be, and it's always evolving. Like this thing is always evolving to, you know, keep the best hustlers there, to keep it right. Does it ever get heated up in there? Like 1 or 2% out of 100. I mean, you know, it's like very slim. Does it ever get heated up? Irrelevant information, I would say a 5% chance you might see it. But for the most part, things are there to make you learn. And if you look at that thing every single day, I challenge you to not make, you know, thousands of dollars from it. Like it's a very safe investment, but you're going to have to want it that bad. That's the thing about life. If you don't want it that bad, then don't mess with it. You're just going to get in. You're just going to try to look at posts where you can. But the people that get the most out of the green room, the ones that really, where it changes their life, are the people that they're active in the room. So it's very important that you ask questions, and it's just like sitting at the front of class as opposed to the back of class. The people in the back of the class are probably going to fall asleep and make bad grades. The people in the front of the class are going to make good grades, and they do less studying, and they pretty much know everything because they're right there. That's kind of what the green room is. It's what you make of it. But step number one is, do you really want it that bad? So if you really want it that bad, then yeah, you should definitely get in. So Darren Eckelman, considering green room full time, drop my monthly. Is there going to be any more specials? I missed the last one. Look, it's a product that we own, and the more specials we run, you could argue that it might devalue the thing a little bit. So we don't run them that often, and when we do run them, it's for a really small window. Our last window was like 4 days. Like, it was really small. So, and in the 4 days, we got like 100 people in there. So we don't want to just leave it open forever, because then we're going to get like a ton of people, and then it's tough to police the whole thing when that many come in like really quickly in a matter of a night or two. So we want to, do the right thing for the room and make it grow the right way. And so that's the reason why we kind of hold off on putting this thing on discount all the time, because it's worth it. It really is worth it. But if we just put the membership down, let's say $5 a month, and then we put the yearly to like 100, there'd be like 2,000 people in there in 2 seconds, right? And as happy as that might make me or Rakin or College Picker, the problem is the quality of the room would diminish pretty quickly. So we want to let it in slow and nice and keep the price kind of high, because that's where you get the right kind of people. We're not looking for a discount type crowd. We're looking for a premium based change your life kind of crowd, right? That's the kind of crowd we want in that room. So, and plus, it's not just the green room anymore. It's the Green Room University, which has courses on there. It has any of our guides. There's also a Green Room Life separate page now, where we talk about food and fitness and motivational stuff, things that aren't hustle related exactly, but people are still, making juices, doing workouts and whatever, weight loss challenges, whatever, posting pictures of them outdoor. That's a whole different room now. And then we have another room opening up soon, but I can't really shed too much light on it, but it's coming in like a week or two. We have another room alongside, which is going to be really cool. So anyway, what is the question from, okay, John Last. Hey, Bonafide, I know it might sound stupid to answer, but I just got a booth at Encore Antiques New Braunfels. Bad idea or good idea? I don't know New Braunfels, and I don't know this booth, but you can, try to describe it to me a whole lot, and maybe a couple pictures. Send me it on Facebook, and maybe I can help you out, John Last. Maybe I can. Carter Sanders. Once I can afford it, I will for sure join. Cool. Yeah, whenever you're ready. That's the thing. The green room's always going to be there. I can't promise it's always going to be this price, but if you're hungry enough, then no matter what price it is, you should buy it, right? That's just the rule of life. I mean, don't just because you're like, well, it's $100 more. I should have bought it when it was $200. Now it's $300 a year. That's the wrong mentality, guys. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you want to change your life, you got to be open. Like, when the time is right, you change your life and you do it. You just do it. So, we are all hustlers here. We know when we see a good deal. You can maybe wait for a special to come around. I can't tell you when the next one's going to be. I really don't know. Or you can just get it now and just really try to make it happen. And I guarantee you, if you just try, if you barely try, you're going to be doing just okay in the room. And if you really try, that's just where the game changing really occurs. We've seen people go in there just not even realizing where they're going to be in 2 years. And then in 2 years later, they're just like, they're traveling the USA, they're meeting people, they're thrifting out of hotels, they are, buying new cars, they're doing things that they never thought they would do, but it's just the animal mentality. You get that hustle, hunger mentality. Some people talk about it and other people just really do something about it. So, okay. I feel like this garage sale show just took a weird turn. So I just went into a green room sale, but I'm passionate about the room. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. But yeah, a couple more garage sale questions. Let's get that. And then I can split out of here. It's usually an hour-long show, so I still got 11 minutes, guys. Get my Perrier endorsement here. Whew. It's good. It's good. Good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I gotta put it away from my computer because I'm lucky. First of all, this desk that I'm at is an antique clawfoot desk from like the 1700s, maybe the 1800s. But if you know what clawfoot is, then you'll know what's up. Anyway, so the feet look like claws, like eagle's claws. And it's really nice. I hate to say it, there are a couple water stains. When I was an idiot, and my parents gave this to me when I was in college, and then I don't know why I put something that made a water stain on it, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get it out of there. But this desk is probably worth in the vicinity of 2,500 to about $4,000. I'm not even kidding. Like if you saw it, you'd be like, "What the hell? That's interesting. Like I've never seen anything like that." So I gotta be real careful with this desk. That's why the Perrier is way over there. What's the best time to show up at a sale? The best time to show up at a sale is before it starts, right? If you try to go on time, you're gonna find one thing, is that the competition will start earlier than you usually. So there it is. Where do you hustle your best finds? Yard sales or Goodwills? Honestly, yard sales have always been my best finds, but when it comes to actual hustles and scope of hustling and scale of hustling, FBA and retail arbitrage has always been better. But you know, you just have to find the perfect freaking deal, like perfect. But Henry S., we have a clawfoot lion table, and my dad, he got eons ago. Cool. Yeah, I mean, these clawfoot desks and tables, man, they don't mess around, guys. Kent Dago sanded. Yeah, maybe I'll have to think about that. What's up, Frank? Where do you hustle? My best garage sale. Here's from Karen on the road. My best garage sale was on the day the Little League parade ended at my back gate. That's pretty funny. Any more questions? I know I've been talking a whole lot. Maybe I've probably gone past a bunch of questions. Let's get a couple more in there real quick. Hey, and while you're at it, guys, you know, there's 53 people here. I have 32 upvotes, 1 downvote. So I'm not no math engineer, but about 21 people haven't done anything with their mouse right now, and they could actually hit the like button or hit the downvote button, but they haven't done a single thing. Man, you get really free information here, good information. Hit the like button if you can. Support the Bonafide Hustler on YouTube. Much appreciated. You know, there's one thing to ask people to buy my stuff, which costs money, right? Let's face it. And then there's the other thing, which is just like, it's a mouse click away, and it just shows like, you know what, like, I'll support, you know, like, and that's a mouse click away. So that costs nothing. Well, it costs a couple calories out of your fingertips, but I think we all got those calories ready to go, ready to burn. What's the most I would spend on an item in a yard sale? John Last, it just depends on your expertise on the item, because quite honestly, if it was a video game related thing or bike related thing or remote control related thing, a lake related sporting goods type of thing, I would spend more because I know too much about those things, right? I know a lot to where it could warrant me spending more in order to get the deal accomplished. Because in my head, if I spend more, the ROI gets thinner. But if I walk away, then the ROI is gone, right? So I have to think, you know, it depends on how good you are at what you know, which is also a testament to our guide again. The more you know, the more you make, okay? But the more you really know about like 3 things or 5 things, I'm talking you're a serious expert about these things, then the more money you will be able to spend on those items. So to answer your question, what's the most I would spend on an item in a yard sale? I can't answer it because it depends on what the item is. What do I ask for my ROI? See, John Last, on garage sales, usually ROIs are insane. They're in the hundreds, 200s, thousands, you know, and that's what I see at a garage sales. It's not uncommon. This is serious ROI. You can't replicate it very easily. That's the only problem. And so that's the reason why people go for the retail arbitrage route in FBA, is because you can replicate that over and over, but you have to sacrifice a little bit more money. And now, like, the whole world's found out about FBA, it seems as if even the ROI you're seeing on your Amazon seller app is not the ROI you're going to be getting by the time it hits your warehouses, or by the time it gets dispersed all over the nation to whatever warehouse it's going to be at. And by the time that lands in your inventory and it's on your phone and you can actually change prices when you want, your ROI is usually, if not, it's definitely less, unless you own the item. I mean, you can private label an item, but that's still not a safe way ultimately, right? People are copying things. People from China are like finding the best selling things on Amazon, copying it. Amazon's even doing it to their own people that use their, you know, their site. It's unbelievable. So, you know, is private label the answer? Not really. But, you know, I mean, that's the thing, is like, you just do what you can. ROI is ROI. I mean, if you like 50, that's great. It's mess with 50 and don't mess with anything outside of 50. If you can get down as, the thin ROIs and everything, that's great too. But I'm not in the game to do 10 or 20. I'm just not. I don't like those ROIs. I like in the 50 range and above. Like, that's just me. So, but when I'm at garage sales, then the 50 range is kind of like, no way. That's where it gets kind of too high for me at a garage sale. I'm looking for hundreds and thousands in percentage return when I go to garage sales. Bonafide Rake-In, does the green room accept Amex now? I don't know that, because our credit card processor is done through Gumroad. So take a look at Gumroad. Suicon Pan. Okay, interesting comment right there. Goodwill Outlet is now palleting some items now. That's crazy. Didn't know that. How long do I hold? Do you hold long for a higher ROI or fast flip for a lower ROI? This is from Jaime or Jamie. This also depends on the platform. It depends on if it's okay. So this, first of all, depends on two things. First of all, the platform, and it also depends on what you paid on the item, right? So if you paid really nothing, and there's not like a market eroding like in front of your face, then yeah, you can hold out for a higher ROI. But if I'm an FBA and I bought this stuff, doesn't matter really where I bought it, but if I bought it for decent money or low money, and I can get low ROI, and it's a low rank, and the market is there, then it's only a matter of time before it gets to nothing. So I've done so many flip fasts this year. I mean, I just do that all the time. But when lower ROI is there, I mean, I've done calculations. I know where it doesn't look right. Or my thing now is, like, when I look at the ROI on the Amazon seller app, I'm looking at the potential profit, right, which will show you after fees, like what you're going to make. I'm looking for no less than if I divide that number, or if I look at the profit I make divided by half, that has to be no less than 50% ROI. So that kind of helps you out. That's what I'm doing right there. When it comes to garage sale stuff, I go for higher ROI usually on eBay. It works. I mean, I don't really need to discount anything, because there's always a buyer on eBay for something that's, pretty cheap. But there's just no reason to do it, especially if you know your items. So, how many garage sales do I normally hit on Saturdays? This can vary. Braulio FM's it's a good question, but usually a minimum of like 20. Probably the most I've ever seen in a day has been like 80, maybe 100. Depends. If it's community-wide garage sale season, it's not uncommon to see 80, 100 garage sales in a day pretty quickly. Hi, Jamie Nakashima. It's so frustrating hitting Goodwill savers and garage sales here in Vegas. Usually when I see people saying all these negative kind of thoughts, I always, it's part of me wants to delve and do a consultation with them for a little bit. But like I said, life approaches you guys. Like, life approaches you in a certain way, and it's never going to change. That's the thing. So how you adapt to that determines the outcome of the situation every single time. So if Goodwill and savers and garage sales suck in Vegas, you got to figure out why it sucks so bad and adapt to that. Okay. If it means wake up earlier, or combine coupon discounts or something to where you get your cost lower, something can be done. But depending on how you view the situation, some people just give up. Some people are like, I'm done with this. I'm getting a job. Like, it just depends on how you view the situation. How you react determines everything about, I've realized that when people don't realize that life is coming to them and there's nothing you can do, it's coming to you, and how you react determines your entire personality, your risk averseness, all that kind of stuff. I find that when people kind of lose it and they're just like, oh my God, I'm the worst day. I had the worst day today. Everything's happening wrong, and my tire blew out, and something hit me on the freeway, and then I come home, and then the cat pooped on the floor. This is life presenting its way to you, and you can choose to look at it two different ways. The way I look at it, I'm just like, but I'm like, you know what? I still have to clean up the poop from the floor. Still got to fix the flat tire on the car. And, complaining about it's not going to do anything, right? It's just going to waste time. So this is just what happens. This is life. This is life happening. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, there really isn't. I mean, unless you lock yourself in a dark room and you have endless money in your bank account, then clearly nothing's going to come at you that you won't surprise you. But, if you want to get out in the open and experience life, then life will come to you too. Anyway, Great content. Keep it rocking. Top dog deal. As stated, I have 1 more minute. It is good to see everybody. Joel Dodson, I'm listing stuff I bought from thrift stores in Vegas last week. I did okay. Cool. Very cool. Louis the Seller, if you only had an hour to make profit, would you go to a garage sale or a Goodwill to make that profit? I'd spend an hour garage selling because I know I'm going to find stuff at garage sales. I'm not like today. I went to thrift stores. All right. I went to thrift stores today for 2 hours. Guess how much I came back with? Nothing. Because nothing came in my risk tolerance, and I'm not going to go bend my risk tolerance just to like buy items because I said I bought items, right? Nothing looked good to me today. Nothing. So I didn't buy anything. Life is like a box of chocolates. That's right. You never know what you're going to get. That's right. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. Danny Hotchkiss, you're very, very welcome. Jamie, this is maybe why this is frustrating. I watch people open brand new in-box items all the time, want to slap them. Why? This is just, like I said, it's life happening in front of you. There's nothing you can do about it. Whether you're there in the picture or not seeing this happen, it's going to happen regardless. So nothing you can do, right? Care on the road. Thanks for the positive attitude. You're welcome. I hope you actually, learn something from this show. Lewis and Riley's Treasures. Thanks for being positive. That's right. You can learn a lot about garage sales through me. I know this for a fact, right? But you can also learn a lot about just random life stuff from me because I'm a very laid back dude. I get angry only never. Like I hardly get angry ever. Like I just don't, unless no, I just don't ever. I don't ever get angry. I don't, unless you threaten my family or my loved ones or my dogs or anything like that. And it's but I don't really ever get angry. I don't get worked up. I've come to realize early in life that it's coming at me, and then how I handle it determines me, right? It's a story of you. And so, if you can figure that out when you're going out to garage sales and you come back and you're like, I didn't do as well as I wanted to, evaluate, figure out what went wrong, figure out where you went wrong. What'd you do for a golden hour? Did you focus for an entire hour or two on garage sales, or were you at a Starbucks in line, and did you go to the bathroom at a gas station? Did you fill up your truck while you were supposed to be at garage sales? You gotta start asking yourself some reflecting and going, why wasn't it so good? And if you did everything that you could do, if you could do everything possible in your control, then that's a good thing to have. Because if something just doesn't happen, it's just because it didn't happen, it wasn't destined to happen. But for next week, and if you do everything that's in your control the same way, and it does happen, then it's always because you put hard work. Hard work will give you, usually over time, very amazing things, very amazing results. But you're gonna have to work hard, right? If you slack off and all that kind of stuff, you kind of get the results of a slacker, which is usually not good. It can't in the game for a long term. It won't. So flips, and then you'll get burned on something, discouraged, and out you go. So that's it. Henry S., glad I got time to watch it live. That's right. I agree. And Jamie, that's right. See, there you go. You're coming around there. Waste of energy to get angry. You're absolutely right. I like hearing that, man. That's good. But we'll give you always great knowledge from Bonafide Hustler. Amazing. Well Off Walrus Gaming just got here. What's up? I gotta leave. That's what's up. Sorry, man. John Last, Bonafide and Rakin, y'all are the best. No BS. Keep it up. You're blessed. No doubt about it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the guidance. It's very much appreciated. That's from AK Ally. I love it. Lucky _ says, thanks to you, I've made about $500 profit flipping. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Lucky _ I'm telling you, if you like just my information, take my information, leverage it with 700 other people, join my room, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So take some of that 500 profit and get and multiply that money, okay? So get into the green room whenever you can. Darren Eckelman, Bonafide, do I still do stocks? Yes, I do. But it's more of swing trades through mutual funds. So I do that. Not swing trades, but more mutual funds, and I do want to get back into swing trading. So I have a feeling I'm about a year away from doing all that, like true swing trades. So Mario Baldonado, hit that like button, guys. That's right. Listen to Mario. Mario knows what's up. Bonafide, I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you from the top. I love that. That's really good, John Last. I like that. I like that. I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you from the top. I like that. That's what we're going to leave this show off. That's a really good quote. I like that. See you at the top, or I'll see you from the top. You're going high regardless of me or anybody else. You're going to make it, John Last. I have a feeling. Hopefully, I'll meet you one day and get with me behind the scenes, John Last, if you want to get some antique booth tips and stuff. But thanks, guys, for watching this Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to pick up that free guide. One last time, I'll show you. It's in the description feed below. Don't miss out. Pull the trigger. Learn some stuff free right now from the green room, and then join us when you want. Take it easy, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.